What Coco say? Coco say? Yeah. Woo! Come on, Coco. Come on, me too.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no.
I bet most of y'all do not can sing like that, but for people who watch my time, y'all know I can sing a little bit. What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B kid. I'm back again with another Versus review for y'all. How y'all doing? Hope you're doing very well. Hope you guys had a beautiful and relaxing Mother's Day weekend. Shout out to my mom, who's amazing. Shout out to all the wonderful and beautiful mothers out there. Hope you guys had a great Mother's Day weekend. And of course, to cap it all off, we had, well, actually no, it was on Saturday evening, but still, it was a great time. We had the SWV and Xscape VERZUZ battle for this weekend. It was such a good time. Man, as someone who's, y'all know I'm the R&B kid, like R&B's my wheelhouse, you know, shout out to hip hop, we love it, but man, as someone who, like, for me, like, 90s, 2000 R&B is my bread and butter, like, that's my childhood. That just, to me, like, the upper echelon quality of music, especially in the R&B realm, it was 90s and 2000s for me, especially the 90s, and man, SWV and Xscape were two of the groups that really were, you know, two of the biggest landmarks of that classic era of 90s R&B that we all know and love. If you're around my age group, you know what I'm saying, and older. Shout out to young ones. To the young ones that don't know about this music, do your Googles, go on Spotify, go look up all this old music and go get hip to some of the beautiful music that came out in the 90s that y'all not really up on like that when you got some time. But yeah, man, so as y'all can see by the title, I'm here to review the SWV and Xscape VERZUZ battle that just went down this past Saturday for Mother's Day weekend. Man, so what can I say? The show did not start on time, and we definitely knew it would not, because at this point, any versus battle starting on time, it wouldn't be right at this point. I don't think there's been one verse battle that has actually started on time. Like, nobody has cared. Everybody starts at least an hour late, and this was no exception. But shout out to DJ A1 and Spinderella for holding it down for both groups, you know, for the little, you know, the little intro pre-show was amazing. Man, DJ A1 was doing this thing as well as Spinderella. I tweeted this. I actually love the fact that I feel like both of them had the moments where where I was like, you know, maybe I would have went with that song for the moment for Mother's Day. But for the most part, I really love both of their sets. I really feel like both of them had great sets that had like a great mix of like you know, ratchet hood classics and also like iconic classy R&B gems at the same time. Like, I feel like they had a good mix of it. Like, at one point I was like, and I'm on what me down, and the next moment I was like, you know, I was singing like a Brandy song or something. Like, you know, it was a good mix of like, you know, R&B gems and hood classics that we all love. So I appreciate DJ A1 and Spinderella's, you know, intro set while the ladies got ready. I know a lot of people were over DJ A1 because they thought he was doing the most throughout the whole night. He low-key was, but I was kind of here for it because I just thought it was funny. My man was hyped. He was ready, you know, to do his thing and represent for, you know, for Candy and Xscape. And Spinderella was holding SWV down on that side, but it was just cool. It was a cool intro set. I really loved it. They were holding me down with the tunes. They were just playing some good tunes left and right. So shout out to DJ A1 and Spinderella for the intro. And then all the ladies came out after like an hour, so I think around like 9 o'clock all of this came out. I think Xscape came out first. DJ A1 gave Xscape like this crazy intro, like, you know, Legends of Atlanta, Xscape ladies came out, you know. So the Xscape came out, and I was kind of annoyed because DJ A1 gave Xscape a great intro, and Xscape came out in, like, you know, all black dresses. They all looked amazing, they all looked beautiful. And then, in my opinion, I think SWV, no shade, I think it's more of an iconic group, you know, to the masses, in my opinion. And then, like, DJ A1 gave SWV this, like, dry-ass intro. And now we got the ladies of, you know, SWV, come out, ladies. And I was like, bro, like, after you just gave Xscape this whole amazing-ass intro, and, you know, but it's all good. So then SWV came out as well. They all looked amazing. Shout out to Taj, Lily, and Coco. I'm gonna preface this by saying, before the versus battle started, I'm team SWV. I love both groups. I love Xscape and I love SWV equally, but I am team SWV because SWV, to me, they just mean so much more to me. I love their music more. I have so much more of their music in my collection. I love their music. I love Xscape music too, but SWV has meant more to me in my life. So I was definitely rooting for SWV, and I knew they were gonna win because, you know, come on, like, you know, but I was definitely excited to see both groups represent because both groups mean so much to music, like I said. So yeah, both groups came out and all the ladies looked beautiful. They all all looked amazing. They all looked gorgeous, repping for Mother's Day. And they all looked, you know, like, you know, black don't crack. Like, they all looked amazing, you know what I'm saying? And I was a little worried about when Tiny came out, what other people were going to say, because you already know there's so much drama surrounding Tiny right now. I'm not going to get into it. I've already talked about it in my previous drop video. But, man, the allegations around T.I. and Tiny right now, it was not looking right. But I was worried about that really affecting the vibe of the show. But I don't think it really did. I think a lot of people were talking about the comments, but I don't really think, you know, a lot of Tiny's personal life stuff really got in the way of, like, the celebration and really just the overall vibe of the night. So I was happy about that. I was worried for a second. I was like, when Tiny come out, I hope it's not going to be a thing. But it really wasn't a thing, so I was happy about that. And also, I'm kind of mad that I feel like Xscape just like took over the intro. Like, shout out to Tamika. Tamika came out with all the energy and I loved it. She did a little prayer for the night, which I loved as well. Even though it wasn't on Sunday, I love that. You know, Tamika said we're gonna do a little prayer for the night, you know, get ourselves right, and I loved it. But I feel like Xscape just took over the intro of the show. Like, SWV, they just sat down, they were just quiet. And then Xscape, you know, Tamika was like talking, you know, and then they were loud, and then they did a prayer. And I was like, I feel like SWV didn't really get like the intro I was hoping they would get. Like I said, SWV is an iconic group. Like, I feel like they should have more of an intro, whether from the DJs or from the other group. I don't know. I just feel like SWV just came out and then just sat down and I was in. I was like, SWV, like, why don't y'all get like some love with this intro? But it's all good. And then I gotta talk about the setup. At first, the setup was so off, y'all. Y'all know, for those who watch, y'all know it's off. The ladies were so far away from each other. It was just like, the vibe was just off because they were so far away from each other. And then each group was just sitting down on the couches, and it just looked awkward. It almost looked like it was like a boxing match in an R&B format. Like, it just looked weird. I don't know why they were so far apart. Shout out to VERZUZ, but I don't know why y'all set it up so the ladies were so far apart. Like, they could barely see each other. They couldn't really hear each other because they were so far away from each other. And yeah, it was just the setup was weird. I really feel like from now on, I feel like the standard format for VERZUZ, when you have both groups or both artists in the same like room or same building, it needs to be like, to me, the standard should be like how it was for like the Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind and Fire VERZUZ. Like, you know, if you're gonna have couches, I think couches is fine, but have couches, but don't let them be too far away. Like, let them be close to each other. And when one group goes, the other group will sit down. But then when that group sits down, the other group will stand up and go. At first, both groups were just sitting down, singing the songs, low-key like lip syncing for their lives. When for like the first few rounds, they're all just sitting down, lip syncing, and it was just weird. Like, you know, the songs were cool, but I can see because I watched it on Triller. And all the Triller comments were like, yo, like, all these ladies need a shot. Like, they needed a blunt. And I was weak when I saw that comment because I was like, that's so true. Like, I saw mad comments that were like, yo, these, like they all should have took a shot. But it's funny because a lot of them actually don't drink, which is funny. But I saw mad comments that was like, yo, like, they didn't hit the blunt before they came out. Like, I was weak because it really was true. Like, when it first happened, the first few rounds were just really, like, kind of boring. And they were just, like, they were trying to get comfortable with the whole setup. You could tell that it was just awkward. Coco's energy was off, and I'll talk about this a little bit later. Coco's energy was off, you can read it on her face, but that's usual Coco. SWV, they just look weird. They were just sitting down, like, quiet as hell. Xscape didn't really know what to do because they wanted them to get hyped, but they were just sitting down, and they felt far away. It was weird. So yeah, the setup was weird at first, but I really feel like I said, the Earth, Wind and Fire and Isley Brothers should be the standard from now on. Like, have it like that. And especially since they were all tested. I know they were all tested for COVID, so because they were all tested, I know they were. I don't understand why they were so far away, but whatever. And then I also want to talk about the fact that a lot of y'all are mad, speaking of Earth, Wind and Fire and Isley Brothers, a lot of y'all were annoyed and over Steve Harvey, but at the same time, I wasn't that mad at Steve Harvey, and honestly, I actually feel like this VERZUZ could have used the host as well. I think once both groups got comfortable, it was a vibe, but I still feel like it would have been nice to have had some type of really dope female host that could have really just brought the energy from the gate. While both groups were trying to get comfortable in their respective sides and get their rounds going, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it really would have been nice for those. I don't know who should have hosted it. I feel like there's a million names I could think of great, you know, amazing black women who could have hosted the VERZUZ, but it still was good without host, but I feel like it would have been better with the host. Let me know what y'all think about that. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Let me see what other comments do I have before I get into the rounds. Yeah, man, both groups were lip syncing for their lives for a lot of rounds, but then when they got comfortable, they actually started singing live, and man, the harmonies were going crazy all night. Listen, the VERZUZ battle, it was lip syncing and harmonies galore all night, both of them. Like, I feel like many rounds both groups like lip syncing for their lives, and then many other rounds both groups were like singing down, like just harmonies, just crazy vocals, like we know from both of these groups. Both of these groups are known for being vocal groups that just know how to give you good harmonies, and they've always sounded so good together since the day both of them came onto the scene. Xscape's harmonies have always been amazing and very underrated, and SWV's harmonies, and especially Coco's anointed voice, crazy. And they showed both groups showed that with this versus battle, which I loved. Even though some parts they also were lip syncing for the lives, which I thought was really funny. But I get it, because you know you're not trying to sing the whole goddamn night. You know, I get it. But yeah, I also had to look up a lot of Xscape songs too. No shade, but like I said, SWV, they mean more to me. I had to look up a lot of Xscape songs, and that's not even shade. That's just like it's interesting that there's so many songs I didn't even know that Xscape like had, whether it was like a remix or like a hidden gem, or like, you know, like a deep cut. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know the song, but I'm mad I didn't, because this song is actually a vibe. So shout out to Xscape for coming on and really showing people a lot of songs that they might not have known before, especially for me. And last thing I'm gonna say, man, I am tired of hearing the word Doritos with these versus battles. If I hear the word Doritos one more motherfucking time, I swear to God, I am so over the Doritos promo. At this point, like, why don't y'all just have like a Dorito sign, or like, you know, just have Bags Doritos on the stage and call it a day, instead of having these artists who we know damn well don't give a shit about Doritos, having them talk about, oh, and we want to give a shout out to Doritos every 5 minutes in the show. Like, come on, bro. Doritos, I'm over it. Y'all need to get out of the versus world, because I feel like every versus I hear the word Doritos 50 times, and I'm like, I love Doritos, but like, come on. Alright, y'all, so those are my thoughts on the show. Now let's get into the rounds. Let me give you my thoughts on who I thought took each round. Y'all ready? Let's go. Alright, round one, it was a round of the gospel records. You have to set the night off right with some anointing. Xscape did Is My Living in Vain, a cover of the Clark Sisters song. Great record. Of course not. And then SWV pulled out Coco's song Endow Me, which is a song off of one of her solo albums with Faith Evans, Fantasia, Lil Mo. Great round. I felt the spirit, but I had to give it to Xscape for Is My Living in Vain. A great record that just feels good. I love how they covered that Clark Sisters record. And also I want to talk about the fact that Coco was so upset even off the first song. Even off the first song, you could tell that Coco was just in her feelings, and a little bit you could tell she was visibly upset, and she looked awkward. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that her audio wasn't right. But at the same time, I also want to say, then again, even though a lot of people on Triller were mad, they're like, yo, why is Coco mad? Why is she upset? If you're a real SWV fan, you know that Coco Clemens is gonna always look tight. Not always, but she like doesn't really care about showing whether she's tight or not. Like, Coco is always gonna have an issue with something. Like, that's just who Coco is. Like, but at the end of the day, no one cares, because Coco's voice makes up for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, Coco is always like bothered about something. She's like very like high strung when it comes to like performing and being, you know, in front of people. Like, she's just a very interesting like artist in that way. But at the same time, yeah, like I said, if you know SWV, you know that Coco is gonna always give you a face. She'll always give you a look. She's gonna always look tight. If something is out of place, Coco's gonna look upset, and that's just what it is. And she don't care about hiding it. Like, that's just who she is. So I wasn't, when Coco was like mad or irritated, I wasn't surprised. I was like, Coco's always like this. If you know Coco, that's how she always is. Even though everyone was upset about it on Instagram and Triller, everyone was upset, but that's just how it is. And also, I didn't really know about this until after the battle, but apparently someone got like shot or murdered, or I don't know if it was murdered, but I know someone got shot, and I think Coco was able to see it from her hotel room. I think that was the story that she put on Instagram, that like she like saw someone getting shot from her hotel room, so like it like messed up the vibe for her as soon as she got to the battle, and she like was just feeling off, which I totally understand. But I was very surprised by that story, but apparently that's what happened. So Coco, hope you're feeling okay. Hope your mental's okay, and just know that even past your awkwardness at the beginning, you still killed it by the end, so you were good. So shout out to Coco, man. Legend. Coco, that one's a legend. Round two, we had Xscape do Feel So Good, and then SWV did Can We Give Kickin a night? I love Can We, so of course I had to give that round to SWV for Can We, featuring Missy. Great song off their Release Some Tension album. I love that song. I love the production by Timbo. It's just a great record. It's just a vibey, interesting, futuristic record that I still love to this day. So I definitely give that round to SWV for Can We. But Feel So Good is a vibe too, but Can We definitely took this round for me. For round three, we had Xscape pull out Am I Dreaming, a collaboration they did with Old School and Keith Sweat from the late 90s. And then SWV pulled out All Night Long off of the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. Both cool records. I actually didn't know Am I Dreaming, but it's a good record. But I gave this round to SWV for All Night Long. Both great records, but I feel like I just have more of an affinity for All Night Long, you know, off the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. It's just a nicer track to me. But Am I Dreaming is a great song too. So if you gave this round to Xscape, I won't be mad at you, but I gave it to SWV. Alright, now we on to round four. 4, which is a weak round for me in my opinion. This is a weak round, but it was whatever. Xscape pulled out What's Up, an unreleased track off of their Shelved album from like their mid-early 2000s, but it did end up on the ATL soundtrack. You know that song, Winning the Skating Rink, and Nunu was in the skating rink, you know, up in the club, that one. So yeah, that song's called What's Up. And then SWV pulled out When You Cry, a deep cut off of their Release of Intention album. So even though this round was whack to me, I definitely still gave it to SWV for When You Cry, because that's a great song off that album. Really chill song, really chill mid-tempo ballad that really is a deep cut off that album. So SWV took this round from me. For round 5, SWV finally decided to get up and actually start, you know, getting a little bit lively after 5 rounds. We had Xscape pull out The Arms of the One Who Loves You, and then SWV pulled out Downtown. Man, this is definitely one of the toughest rounds of the night, because both these songs are classic R&B records. Great round. This is a hard one for me, but I have to go with Downtown. To be honest, even though this is a hard round, Downtown is an instant point. That record, you gotta go downtown. That's the way to my love. We make it round and round. Cool, that's a good song. So SWV, listen, Downtown is an instant point. I love that song. Classic. It still feels good to this day. That song still goes off to this day. So this round definitely went to SWV. But let me know what y'all thought. And now on to round 6. We had Xscape pull out their collab with MC Lyte, her track Keep On Keepin' On. And then SWV pulled out Someone, their track with Diddy off the Release of Intention album. Both cool songs. I'm actually not that familiar with Keep On Keepin' On, but it was a vibe. But I still gave this round to SWV for Someone. Someone is another nice, you know, it's a nice like bad boy late 90s track that everyone still listens to this day. Someone that's faithful and true. I love that song. I need love. I love that one. So come on, Someone is a classic joint in my opinion. I love Someone, so I gave this round to SWV again. But Keep On Keepin' On is a bop too. So I ain't gonna sleep on that song. But I had to give it to SWV for this one. Someone is a classic joint that still knocks to this day. So SWV took this one from me. Alright, for round 7, this is another round that I was kind of indifferent to. It was a weak round for me. We had Xscape pull out Work Me Slow, which is a song that I actually didn't really know like that, but when I heard it again, I'm like, this is actually a really nice, like really nice, cool R&B song. And then we had SWV pull out Everything I Love, a nice deep cut off of their I Missed Us album, which is a song that I actually love. Even though I do have more of an affinity for Everything I Love, I actually gave this round to Xscape because Work Me Slow just felt like a bigger, bolder, better, more classic song compared to Everything I Love. So I gave this round to Xscape actually, even though I do love Everything I Love. So this is a tough round. Both songs that were kind of just like whatever to me, but I gave this round to Xscape. Let me know what y'all think. Alright y'all, and then I gotta talk about this. After round 7, I don't know what the hell happened, but Latasha saw that it was like a Doritos fan choice moment and she didn't know what the hell was going on. She thought it was like a pause, or she thought it was like a break in the show. So she's like, alright y'all, now we're gonna take a little break. And the lady's like, nah, we still going. Latasha's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're still gonna keep going. I don't think she realized that the fan choice moment was just like a song that like the fans really loved that they wanted to play. It wasn't a break in the show. And this is another thing I had, this is another beef I had with the Versus. I feel like it seemed like the ladies didn't really rehearse like what was gonna happen. Like I'm surprised the Versus team didn't get together with both groups and be like, oh, you know, so this is gonna be the structure of the show. We're gonna do this, then we're gonna do that. And we're gonna have these Doritos fan choice moments, and then we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. It's like ladies were kind of just like going off the fly, and they were just trying to like, you know, set up the vibe like kind of on the fly. And it seemed like they didn't really have no structure or no prep or no rehearsal as to what was gonna be happening during the show. It seemed like they were like rehearsing like while they were like live in front of all of us. It was weird. Like I was just like, I don't know why no one couldn't sit them down and be like, so this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna have a Doritos fan choice moment. It's not a break. It's just like to highlight songs that the fans really love or whatever. Like, you know, I just feel like there was no structure and no prep for both groups at the beginning, and it really brought down the vibe of the show a lot in my opinion. But thankfully both groups were so charismatic that they were able to power through it. But yeah, for future Versus battles moving forward, we need the artists to know what's happening beforehand, so it's not like they're rehearsing it while it's happening in terms of like how the structure of the show is gonna go. Damn. All right, so that little awkward moment happened, but then we got past it. And then for round 8, we had Xscape pull out Just Kickin' It, one of their best and most classic joints. Love that song. And as the creator and producer of the group, it was so nice to see Jermaine Dupri pop out for one of their biggest songs, Just Kickin' It. And it was so nice to see him, like, you know, do his little verse as well and do his ad-libs. It was good to see Jermaine Dupri. Shout out to Jermaine Dupri. And then we had SWV pull out You're the One, the All-Star remix and the regular version as well. Love this round. This is definitely one of the toughest rounds of the night. Both both classic records. Even though I love Just Kickin' It, this is such a hard one. I love Just Kickin' It, but I had to give this one to SWV because You're the One is literally one of my favorite R&B songs of all time. I love the record. I played it out so many times, from that beat to the melody to the way they sung on that track. I just love You're the One. Such a good song. To me, that song is one of the songs that just takes me back to the 90s instantly. Just Kickin' It does that as well, but not as much as You're the One. So I have to give this round to You're the One for SWV. But I love Just Kickin' It too. So this is a hard round. If you give it to Just Kickin' It, I'm not mad at you. But for me, this has to go to SWV because You're the One. That song's in a different type of lane. Like, that song is crazy. I love that record still to this day. Love that song. And I personally love SWV's story about like their love for remixing and how they do all the time for the the You're the One also remix. But I really feel like they should have saved the story for the Right Here Human Nature rounds where they did that song. And I love how they also talked about Brian Alexander Morgan, who has been their producer for like their entire careers. He produced and wrote like all their biggest and their best hits. So shout out to Brian Alexander Morgan for what you did for SWV's career. You really did that. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, man. And I love that moment. Even though I feel like they should have had it for Right Here Human Nature, it's all good. They did it during You're the One, but it's all good. But yeah, that was a nice moment that I enjoyed. For round 9, we had Xscape pull out Bills, Bills, Bills by Destiny's Child, which Candy helped write. And then SWV pulled out Right Here Human Nature remix. This was an easy round. Even though I love Candy and her writing achievements, she was low-key cheating all night, but I get it. If you wrote it, get in your bag. I'll talk about this later. But yeah, this round definitely went to SWV for Right Here Human Nature remix. That song is classic. That's a song that takes you back to the 90s instantly when you hear it. One of the most classic and iconic songs of the 90s. I love that record. I love what Teddy Riley did with the remix. I just love that song, the video with them like in their question outfits, and that song and video is just everything. Right Here Human Nature is one of their best records, an iconic record still to this day. Landmark record, signature song. I love that song, so they definitely took this round easily. Whenever they played Right Here Human Nature remix, it was gonna be a point no matter when they played it. Point blank period. I also want to give a shout out to Teddy Riley again for producing the Right Here Human Nature remix. Like I said, I really love that song. I feel like it's such a beautiful song that shows when Teddy Riley produced their song Right Here with the Human Nature sample by Michael Jackson, it really gave that song a new wind, and it gave that song new life. And it's a song that just sounds like the 90s off rip because it just sounds like that time period, And that song really is a true example of why the music community needs to continue to honor and protect the act of like the practice of like remixing and sampling, especially when it's done right and when it's done respectfully, because it's so important for how we move music forward. Like that song Right Here was a 90s song that they used a song from the 80s from the previous generation from Michael Jackson to give it new life and to give it a new form, so that the new generation could enjoy it and use it for their enjoyment. I really feel like we need to like kind of get all this political and like courtroom legal drama out the window when it comes to sampling, and especially when an artist like gets permission, does it right and does it respectfully. It's important for how we push music forward. So I'm tired of all these legal battles and legal dramas when it comes to sampling, because that's how we really push forward as a musical community, especially when you give credit and do it right. If you don't give credit, or if you don't do it in a respectful right way, then of course there's issues. But if you sample and remix in a respectful way and you get permission and it's done right and it really pushes your own music forward, as well as giving homage to who you sampled, or whatever, then I feel like we need to continue to honor and protect the act of doing that, because it's important for the future of music, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to say that. And now for one of the best and one of the toughest rounds of the night, right before the break, round 10, we had Xscape do Tonight, and then we had SWV do the cover of Patti LaBelle's If You Only Knew, a deep cut off of their I Missed Us album. Such a tough round. I love both of these songs. Man, such a hard round. This was the vocal round of the night. Like SWV was singing their ass, especially Coco, when she hit her come on, man, in honor of Patti LaBelle. And they Xscape with the harmonies and the vocal power for Tonight. One of their best vocal records. Like, they were singing their asses off during that part. The harmonies were going insane. Shout out to this round. It was such a great round for all of us as fans. They were both singing their asses off and both just give us like songs that were just so vocally blessed. Both of these songs are just good vocal songs. Like Tonight and If You Only Knew are two of their best vocal songs as groups. Man, hard round, but I gave it to SWV because the way Coco snapped at the end of the If Only You Knew cover. If you have not heard that song off the I Miss This album, go listen to that song. The way Coco snapped, just like, honestly, low-key even harder than Patti LaBelle did. Bro, Coco's voice is anointed, and the way she snapped and she sang her ass off at the end of If You Only Knew, that alone to me gave this, gave SWV the point for this round. But I'm not gonna sleep on Xscape. If you gave this round to Xscape, I'm not mad at you because they were also singing their asses off on tonight. But for me, I had to give this round to SWV. But man, both groups were in their bag with this round. They were singing their asses off, man. Oh, we were blessed. We were blessed, man. Come on, man. I love being black. Alright, then both groups came back from break, and SWV came out really late. Xscape came out like way before them. I don't know why that happened. They should have came out together, but it's all good. So both groups came back out to do the second half, and all their kids came out to like give them like Mother's Day gifts and like to give them love and shout outs as mothers, which is really cute and beautiful moments. I love that. That was really cute. And then we went into round 11. They finally kicked off with a bang. SWV, they like changed a little bit. Everyone was going to put on their sneakers, and they finally got comfortable. And the second half from now on was it was way more lit. So SWV, they got comfortable and they hit it off with I'm So Into You. They started first, and then Xscape was going second, and Xscape did My Little Secret, which is this is definitely a hard round. Both these songs are amazing songs. I love both of these songs. I have more of an affinity for I'm So Into You, so I gave this round to SWV. But if you give this round to Xscape, I'm not mad at you because My Little Secret is a good song, so I wouldn't be mad at you at all. But I give this round to SWV because I'm So Into You, to me, it's just a classic record that I love still to this day. It just takes me back to like, it just takes me back to like memories, and it makes me feel good. But My Little Secret is a great song as well. So I give this round to SWV, but if you give it to Xscape, I ain't mad at you. For round 12, we had SWV pull out Ain't No Man off of their Still album, and then we had Xscape pull out Softest Place on Earth. Cool round. I gave this round to Xscape for Softest Place on Earth. Great record, which is a song actually I'm not really that familiar with. But when I heard it again, I'm like, yo, this is a really good song. So Ain't No Man is a cool record, but I give this round to Xscape for sure. With Softest Place on Earth, it's just a song that just feels good. It's just an R&B vibe. Like, I love it. It's a great song. So I give this round to Xscape for sure. And now on to round 13. Another round where Candy cheated because she knew they were going to lose anyways. SWV played Use Your Heart, one of my favorite records by them. I love that song. Shout out to Pharrell for producing that song, and Chahugo of the Neptunes for producing Use Your Heart. One of my favorite SWV songs. That song is amazing. And then Xscape, or really Candy, pulled out You and That, her record with E40 and T-Pain. Listen, that's a hood classic right there. I love You and That. You and that monkey. You and that. Great song. But obviously, SWV took this round easily because Use Your Heart is just a different type of record. That song, lyrically, melody, production-wise, it's everything. So, You and That is a bop, but this round went to SWV without question, for sure. Now we're on to round 14, which is the round of the features. And we had SWV pull out Coco's feature on Will Smith's Men in Black. Classic 90s joint that we all love. Here comes the Men in Black. I bet a lot of y'all didn't know that Coco sung that hook, and she sung it well. I love that hook by Coco. She killed that Men in Black hook. And then we had Xscape pull out the Always Be My Baby remix with Mariah Carey and Dupri. Dupri came out, did her verse. It was cool. It was a moment. Shout out to Dupri for killing it. I didn't know this remix before the verse battle happened. I didn't know the song at all. But shout out to Mariah Carey and Dupri and Xscape for this remix. It was cool. But I gave it trying to SWV for Men in Black because to me that song and Coco's feature on that hook was just classic. I love that song and I love what Coco did on it. So even though it's just Coco, I gave this round to SWV for sure because Men in Black is classic. What can I say? It's classic. Come on. Round 15, we had SWV pull out You're Always On My Mind. I love that song. A deep cut off of their first album. And then Xscape pulled out Thug Holiday, a feature by Latasha for Trick Daddy. That was a cool song. I didn't know it before today, but that was a cool song. Thug Holiday is cool. Shout out to Trick Daddy as well. But this round definitely went to SWV for You're Always On My Mind. That is an iconic and classic R&B slow jam. I love that production by Brian Alexander Morgan. Writing, the melody. It's just a great feel-good R&B jam. You're always on my mind. Classic song. So this round went to SWV for me for sure. For round 16, we had SWV pull out Coco's debut solo single, Sunshine, produced by Ronnie Jerkin. Shout out to Dark Child. And then we had Xscape pull out Love on My Mind, a great single off of their debut album. I love Love on My Mind. So even though Sunshine is cool, I gave this round to Xscape for sure because I love My Mind. I got love on my mind. I love that song. So that was when they were dancing like in the baggy, the baggy outfits. And then I think Tamika was pregnant in that video, but you didn't know because they had baggy clothes on. Great video, a great song. I love that song. So I give this round to Xscape because I just love this record more. So shout out to Sunshine, shout out to Coco, but this round definitely went to Xscape for me. And it was so cute to have Coco's son singing Sunshine with her. That was such a cute moment. I forgot Coco's son's name, but shout out to him. He could sing. Yo, the talent is running and throughout all their families, because Coco's son can sing his ass off. He was singing with his mom, like back and forth. It was so cute. I loved it. It was such a great moment. I loved it. Round 17, we had SWV pull out MCE, Man Crush Every Day, and then we had Xscape pull out Do You Want To. This was a cool round. MCE is cool, but I went with Xscape on this round. Do You Want To is just a more classic record that everyone knows. I feel like it's just a better record, even though I'm more familiar with MCE actually, but Do You Want To is a better record, low-key. So I give this round to Xscape. And can we talk about how, like, the crowd that was in the building, I think it was like both of their families, whatever, like all their friends and family, the crowd and like everyone on Triller and Instagram was going to DJ A1's neck because he cut off Do You Want To so quickly. Like I think Kenny was about to go into her verse, and then DJ A1 cut it off, and everyone was going at DJ A1's neck. They're like, yo, play the song, go back, run it back. And I know DJ A1 must have turned red. He must have turned purple during that moment. I felt so bad for him. He must have felt like an asshole. Like, he cut the song off so quickly, and then everyone was like, nah, run it back. And then he ran it back again, and then Xscape, they did like the whole song. It was great. So yeah, Do You Want To is a good song off their second album, I think, Off the Hook. And yeah, I give this one to Xscape for sure because it's just a better song. But shout out to Xscape though, and shout out to DJ A1 for getting through that moment swiftly and professionally because that was a mess. Round 18, we had a SWV pull out Rain on Me, one of their best and most classic joints to date. And we had Xscape pull out No Scrubs by TLC, which Candy and Tiny helped write. So even though Candy and Tiny did help write No Scrubs, that was a weird moment because, you know, it's TLC's, like, one of TLC's biggest songs. And then, like, did y'all peep the shade that they had when they started playing Ed Sheeran's Shape of You, which like interpolates No Scrubs? Candy's like, listen, y'all gonna know that I wrote all these songs. I'm getting all these songwriting checks, all these publishing checks from all these songs that I wrote. And I ain't mad again. I ain't mad, even though she was low-key cheating. So can we talk about that? Can we talk about the fact that every time SWV played a crazy out of this world song that they knew they couldn't compete with, Candy would just play like a song that she wrote that she knew wasn't gonna win, like for, you know, You and That. When she played Bills by That's Child, when she played, you know, No Scrubs on this round, like Candy put out all these random ass songs that she did have right that were anthems, but not her anthems really. And you know, when they knew they were gonna lose regardless, it was just funny. It was a really interesting strategy that I'm not mad at, but I'm like, damn, like I would have rather them put out deep cuts that they had instead of pulling all these anthems that wasn't really theirs. But like I said, you try writing all these anthems the way Tiny and Candy did back in the day, so you try doing that. So I ain't mad at it, but it's just funny as hell that the way they did that. It was just funny as hell. But that round definitely went to SWV for sure, hands down. Come on, Rain on Me, you kidding me? Rain on Me still goes up to this day. That song is a timeless, crazy, like copyright talent show audition level, like just timeless classic joint. Like what? Oh, sometimes it's soft as a misty rain. Come on, man, come on. Stop playing me. Stop playing me. Round 19, we had SWV pull out Anything, the remix version with Wu-Tang Clan. And then we had Xscape pull out Who Can I Run To. Really hard round, great round of good songs. This is a really hard round. I didn't know who to pick. Even though I love Who Can I Run To, great song by Xscape, I have to give it to SWV because Anything to me is another classic joint that to me I just like, anytime I hear it, I'm just like, hey, oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? Anything you want in me, I am gonna try. But I'm gonna get, I love that song, man. Anything is a crazy joint that still goes up to this day. And shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan remix. It was dope as hell. I loved it. Yeah, man, this is a hard round. I love both records, but Who Can I Run To is a classic joint. I think it was a cover by someone else, but I think by the Jones Girls. Shout out to Xscape, classic cover, classic song, one of their best songs, but Anything just hits differently from me. So I have to give it to SWV for Anything, but let me know what y'all think about this round. And then for the final round, round 20, we had two of their biggest and best and most signature songs for each group. We had SWV pull out Weak, and then we had Xscape pull out Understanding. Both great songs. I kind of wish we ended on Weak and not Understanding, but it's all good. The way everyone was like, when SWV finished Weak, it was a moment. Everyone was feeling it, and then Xscape was like, oh, but it's not over. It's not over. And we're like, okay, all right. And then Xscape did Understanding. It was cool, but like, you know, everyone was already hyped off of Weak, but it's all good. Weak is literally one of the most iconic, timeless R&B songs of the 90s. SWV were in their bag when they recorded that song. And funny enough itself, Coco hated that song when they first got it from their producer Brian Alexander Morgan. Coco hated that song, but I'm glad she warmed up to it and they finally recorded it because that was that's still their biggest song to this day. That's the signature song. Weak is crazy. Understanding is a great record as well. I love the writing, I love the message of the song, I love the harmonies, I love the vibe of that song. Understanding is such a classic record for Xscape, but Weak definitely took this round from me. Weak is just a different type of song. It's on a different type of level. That melody, the vocals, the writing, it's just a different type of song. So SWV took the last round for sure with Weak, but Understanding is a great song as well. So shout out to both groups, but that's how it ended off. Alright, y'all, so that's my breakdown of all the rounds for the versus battle between SWV and Xscape. And as you can see by my count, my winner is obviously SWV. Come on, man. I knew that's what was gonna happen. No shade to Xscape. I love Xscape. I salute Xscape for their brilliant careers, their brilliant work. I love a lot of their music as well. I love both groups, but SWV just has too many out of here bangers. Like, they just have too many songs that are just out of here. Like, I knew they were gonna win easily. They definitely took most of these rounds from me. Xscape definitely took a lot of rounds too, but SWV is just they're just different, man. Coco, that woman is anointed and blessed. Her voice is one of a kind. Her voice is one of the most under-recognized and like under-appreciated voices in R&B from her generation. Like, I think people appreciate her, but people don't talk about Coco enough. When they talk about like upper echelon vocalists, like, people don't talk about Coco enough. And Coco's voice is just like, man, she be hitting notes. I'm like, Coco, even when Coco's like not feeling well, she's not really feeling it, like, Coco will still go out on the stage and just like sing you under the table, like sing anybody under the table. It's crazy. And even besides Coco's voice, SWV, like the hits that they have, like, it's just like the hits that SWV has, man, on each album they had. It's insane. So congrats to SWV for being my winner. Let me know who y'all thought won. Y'all think Xscape won? Y'all think SWV won? Y'all think it was a tie? Y'all, did y'all not really care? Let me know down below. I had SWV. I'm pretty sure a lot of people had SWV as well, but if you had Xscape, I would love to know your scorecard and I'd love to know how you came to that conclusion. Let me know down below. But yeah, man, that's my winner. Let me know what y'all think. And alright, y'all, just to close off my review, let me just give you guys some thoughts on the show overall. I definitely love the second half more than the first half. I feel like once they got more comfortable, took off their shoes, once Coco was able to calm down after what happened to her earlier in the night, and once they got off the couches and actually started standing up and actually started using mic stands, the show just got way more, it became way more of a vibe, became way more enjoyable. When they actually started coming together and hugging each other, actually coming close, it was way better. But compared to when they first started, they were so far away and they were like quiet and timid and awkward. They were trying to figure it out. I wish they actually did for future versus, like I said, I want there to be more rehearsal as to what will happen, so that both groups won't feel like they're kind of like figuring out what to do on the fly. Like, they already should know what was going to happen, so they can just feel comfortable and get ready to perform their songs. So, but overall, I had a good time. I thought it was a fun vibe. There were a lot of audio issues. There were definitely some audio snafus, but I also think the live band aspect really helped bring a lot of those songs alive. I don't think we could see a live band, but I feel like the live band aspect that I heard in that room really did bring those songs alive. And at one point, I remember Coco was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I think I forgot what song was it. It wasn't Weak. I think it was like "I'm So Into You." One song they were performing where like the audio, like the drums just went crazy. It was like you could hear all this overdub, and it just sounded really bad for like 5 seconds. And Coco was like, "What the fuck?" I died. I was weak. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on the show overall. And apparently there was like a wardrobe malfunction that Swizz Beatz talked about during the first half, which made SWV uncomfortable. I didn't really peep that, but shout out to SWV for soldiering on even through all the malfunctions and all the issues that they were going, that were going on behind the scenes. Like, they didn't really show it that much. So shout out to their professionalism in that sense. And in terms of songs, I feel like I'm really surprised that each group didn't pull out. I feel like they really should have pulled out. SWV, I feel like they should have pulled out Cosign off of their I Miss This album. I'm really surprised they didn't pull out. That was like the main single off of that album, the most known song off that album. I'm surprised they didn't pull that out, even though they pulled out Everything I Love. I don't get that. Cosign definitely should have came out. It's All About You off of their New Beginning album. Maybe they don't like that song, but that was also one of their biggest hits off that album. I'm surprised they didn't pull out It's All About You, one of their biggest hits. They could have pulled that out. And also Lose My Cool off of the Release Intention album. Lose My Cool with Redman. A bop, a banger. I love that song. That's a song that I really love still to this day, so I really wish they would have pulled that out as like a nice deep cut, even though it wasn't, well, I think it was a single, but it didn't do well because of Billboard rules at the time. But that was a great song that I love, so I wish they pulled out Lose My Cool with Redman. For Xscape, I really wish they pulled out Can't Hang with MC Lyte. They pulled out Keep On Keepin' On, but if y'all want to pull out an MC Lyte song, y'all should have pulled out your song MC Lyte, Can't Hang. Can't Hang is one of my favorite Xscape joints. That song, the production is a banger. The beat's crazy. I love the way they just the arrangement of that song. I love the melody. That song is fly as hell. I really wish they put out Can't Hang. I'm surprised they didn't pull that out. That would have been a nice banger for them to pull out. I don't know why they didn't do that. They didn't have to pull out, but it would have been cool to see them pull out Bounce With Me with Bow Wow, because they were featured on that song. Even though that's Bow Wow song, it would have been cool to pull that out as well. They could have pulled out Bounce With Me. And lastly, for New School Xscape, they could have pulled out Memory Lane. That's the song that they released off their EP when they were working as a 3-piece without Candy, so maybe that's why they didn't want to pull it out to not be awkward about it. But I really love Memory Lane. I love that song. It's an amazing record. So I feel like I really wish they pulled out Memory Lane as well to kind of give some love to like New School Xscape. But it's all good. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the SWV and Xscape versus battle. Let me know what y'all thought about the show down below. Let me know how did you guys like it? Did you hate it? Did you think it's okay? What were your favorite moments? What were your least favorite moments? Let me know down below. I really want to know, okay? Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Appreciate y'all. Like I always say, guys, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song to make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. Alright, y'all, this has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you guys for watching, but for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just